on the way home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do that.
All right, we need our guests to go sit down because we're live here at the,
Well, sorry about this,
Cigar Code. This is the Fryar Place where the conversations are fire. We were having some technical difficulties. We don't have my camera, but you see my guest already. But before we get to him, this is my dog too. Before we get to him, are we good? Technician?
Okay,
all right, yeah.
Okay,
before we get to him, we got some bills we got to pay. That's why we got to go live.
Yes.
So y'all check this out.
Are you planning a special trip or a night out? Don't bother with the hassle of driving, parking, and traffic. Just call Ed Smooth Transport. One-way or round trips available. We will take you there. And we will also pick you up. Enjoy a night on the town with Ed Smooth Transport. Call us 609-471-2653 or 609-314-6619. Visit our website to take advantage of our monthly specials at www.smooftransport.com. Ed Smooth Transport, where experience meets comfort.
In Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, there's a slightly slower pace of living. That's also where you'll find the home of Stoltz Fish Structures, where quality, integrity, and world-class customer service are more than just a way to do business. It's a way of life. From our humble beginning over 40 years ago in a small building, to the modern 65,000 square foot facility of today, we've remained at the forefront of our industry. Everything from gazebos and sheds to garages and pergolas, and everything in between.
All right, we're back. We are back. In the house. Come on, everybody, put your hands together. We got a few folk here in the house, but we have a few folk who are thoroughly immersed with the true Fryar Place spirit. And a few folk thoroughly immersed in the true spirit are a far greater asset than thousands with lukewarm enthusiasm. You like that, huh?
Yeah, I like that. It's basically, you're saying quality over quantity.
Yeah, kind of. I said all of that. But listen, y'all, welcome to the Fryar Place. We're here. It's the first Friday of the month. We are here live guests, live audience, the Cigar Code, 939 North Delaware Avenue in Philadelphia, right next to Rivers Casino. It's our pleasure to bring to you tonight my guest, my dog, your friend. You know him as Hollis the Tank Thomas, former defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. He also played for the Saints and the Panthers. We're going to talk about these other couple of teams he played for too. And the Rams. 10 years with the Eagles. An undrafted free agent in 1999.
96.
Or 96, I'm sorry. 1996, ended up playing 15 years in the NFL. That is truly unheard of. Everybody put your hands together for my guest tonight, Mr. Hollis Thomas.
Thank you.
So, Big Dog, and that's what I'm going to call him because we're friends, and I'm very familiar with him. He's very familiar with me. So this is probably going to go off the chain tonight, just a little bit. We'll get off track tonight, but it's still going to be good because Hollis is one who says what we think. We may not say it, but he's going to say it. I always wondered, because you talk about it every now and then. You know, I was a first-round draft choice. First overall.
Yeah.
And you kind of haggle me every now and then about that.
It's not a haggle.
That's not a haggle. But
I tease you about it because you weren't like, if you remember the year when your first year here was my first year here.
Right.
And I think I was blessed but for being here because I had a lot of older guys who showed me how to be a pro.
Okay.
And I saw a few other people who got the first round stuff and kind of just like screwed the pooch. It's like they never lived up to the hype.
Right.
And it's like they felt they looked like seemed entitled. And I knew coming in that I was going to get one chance. I was going to have to see. I got seized the second from AJ. That was his name, Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson,
so,
yeah.
Seized the second. So it wasn't none of that crap where I get in there, and I got an opportunity to mess up because they weren't going to give me an opportunity to mess up too many times.
Right.
Not even one time. So when you're an undrafted free agent, you have to come in polished already. And fortunate enough for me, I had some quality coaches in high school, and college. High school, I had a lot of people don't know who Ernie McMillan is. Ernie McMillan played on the other side of what's the guy, the other offensive tackle who's Deerdorf, Dan Deerdorf. Yes, he was actually our high school offensive line coach.
Nice.
And I went to Academy of Math and Science. I was like, but I played for Sumner All Blacks since 1875. But we didn't have a practice field. We practiced in the back of a baseball field. So when the defensive offensive line, we had this thing in the back of the school. It was just a patch of grass with some dummies and stuff on it. We called it the lab, and that's what they taught. It was like him, Coach Frank Roy, and they taught me how to break down each and every block. And it was like it was becoming a student of the game because he was a real technician.
Right.
And then getting to college and having some good coaches there. Because the head coach, Charlie Sadler, ended up being my coach as a nose guard. And it was just like when we went off in the individual drill, I went with him by myself because I was the starting nose guard, and the other guys was, put it this way, the other guys going in
They were garbage.
Yeah, okay.
They were garbage.
Okay.
We just say it like it is.
Yeah.
So why do you think that happens, why do you think that happens when you have a high draft pick and they come into the league and they don't pan out? Is it a mistake from the scouts and the owners and the general manager? They made a mistake with this guy's talent. Maybe he peaked in college and gets to the pros and can't continue to elevate. Why do you think that happens with high draft choices as frequently as it does?
Sometimes I think that they get caught up in the hype, getting patted on the back and stuff. A lot of times it's like, I made this correlation when I got traded to the Saints, and there was a kid there named Jonathan Sullivan. He was like a top lottery pick.
Okay.
But he was he played with remember Richard Seymour?
Yep.
He played with Richard Seymour. In college, Sullivan was better than Seymour. But when we got to the pros, Sullivan didn't last that long, and he was soft as cotton.
Right.
It was a big pudding.
Right.
I guess it's like when you don't get drafted where you feel you should, you come in with more of a chip on your shoulder.
So take us through that process. Now, you're your senior year at Northern Illinois. That's where you came out of.
Yeah, junior.
Junior. Oh, you came out as a junior?
Yeah, because they fired my coach. I wasn't going to.
They fired your coach.
I wasn't going to be getting the same benefits.
That's why you like the NIL now. So players can go wherever they want to because coaches leave. Yeah.
Yes, it was a final season. I still had a season left, but the funniest thing was they brought in what's the kid's name? Again, they brought in the other coach, and he was just pretty much cleaning house and stuff, and talking about shave your hair. I just got hair, facial hair back then. It was like shave your facial hair.
That's special for us when we're 18, 19, 20 years old. We get some hair on our face. Yeah. We want to talk that around.
But it was like that last year. It was like I was practicing. I didn't really practice. I did pool workouts. Okay. And then it was a bunch of teams coming to look at me and stuff. And
so even more so your junior year. Take us through the process. It's your junior year, it's the end of your junior year, or getting towards the end of your junior year. I'm going to assume that you did want to play in the NFL.
Yes.
You're trying to get to the NFL. So what exactly did you have to do to get, because you're in Northern Illinois, I mean, they're not on TV a lot.
Wow. You went to Nebraska.
Well, we were
when they was running the triple option.
Yeah,
as a receiver.
We were on TV all the time.
Okay.
So I mean,
so
you weren't known all over the league. You weren't known nationally, so to speak. You weren't a name that we see now in the draft that's said all the time, that comes up in the conversations in the first and second round draft.
Right.
So what was that process for you, and how actually did you get teams in the NFL, coaches in the NFL, general managers in the NFL to notice you?
I built the highlight tape. I know everybody the whole time when I first came out, I sent the highlight tape out to all the teams. My then agent Mike Bauer was out of Wisconsin, and that was back when the VHS was prevalent.
You're dating yourself.
Well, you had to put the two VCRs there. And we sent like it was 30 or 31 teams at the time. We sent out the 30 or 31 copies, and then
I think it was 30 teams at the time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
30 teams.
And then I was getting calls on the first day, but it was just like hang loose. I was like, I'm like, either you gonna draft me. So then, hey, I was a little pissed too because, so I had my family there. We had a little food and stuff, and watching the draft and stuff, and I had to go to it was some type of ball or something. My girlfriend at the time, I had promised her I'd bought tickets to the ball. I didn't want to go because the draft was going to be going on during the ball. But this is I really predate myself. You remember those big old phones that you carry around in the case and stuff?
No.
My parents was up there, and so they was like, it'll be okay. My mom's like, it'll be okay. Just take it with you to the dance. And so I'm walking around with a suit on and the phone with me. Like back then it was baller.
Yeah.
Now that I look back at it and think about it, I look like a damn
if
fool.
you had one of those big suitcase phones back then, yeah, you were balling back then.
Yeah, but it's like I look like a damn fool though. It's
No,
like,
well, it would look like a fool now.
well, yeah,
You know, because you can fit your phone in your pocket. You know, we have little computers that are just the size of a credit card.
Yes, so
but
we
back then you were balling.
Yeah, so we went to the ball and went. Then that night after the first few rounds passed, the next morning I got a call early in the morning. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I got a call early in the morning, but they didn't want nothing. They just wanted to say, hang loose, you're on the board. Hang loose, you're on the board. I'm like, so then the Eagles called me in the 5th round. It was like, hang loose, you're on the board. They pick comes up, they draft Whit Marshall. You don't even remember him, do you?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Linebacker out of University of Georgia. Totally sucked. Got cut.
I told you, he tells it like it is.
he got cut. He got cut there for.
So what was that? But what was that like? Because I have my oldest son, London.
Right.
He was projected out of Western Michigan to be drafted maybe in the 4th round, 3rd or 4th round, and that day for me and for him, more so for him, was absolutely, or those 2 days were absolutely
a headache.
Torture.
Headache,
because we sat through the whole draft. And he was so deflated. He was so disappointed. He was so hurt. And almost to the point where he didn't want to play in the NFL. He did go on and sign with the Chiefs as a free agent.
Trust me, I know. That's why I quit.
What was that like?
He don't know why I quit. You know that's why I quit, right?
I didn't know that's why you quit.
Because when I was playing for the Rams, we played against the Chiefs, and so somebody comes yelling out the Chiefs crowd, Mr. Thomas, Mr. Thomas. I was like, the hell? It's like, man, see?
It was my son.
It was his son. It's like, it's time to jump on the water wagon. But
Same thing happened to me.
Somebody
right here in Philadelphia.
Somebody's kid.
Julius Adams.
Oh.
I played with Julius Adams. You remember his son?
Yes.
He was here. I played with Julius Adams in New England. When I first got there, Julius was there. They called him Knuckles.
We called him.
No, Julius Adams was Knuckles. We called Julius.
His son
Knuckles.
was Bullet.
Yeah.
His son was Bullet because you didn't want to be in the pile. He was hitting anybody and everybody. He didn't care what color he had
fire.
on. Yeah, it wasn't friendly.
So I look up, and it's Julius's son is on the team playing with me, and he said the same thing. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Fryer? I'm like, who are you? Oh, I'm Julius's son. I'm like, what? I've been playing way too long. It's time for me to think about giving this up.
Yeah.
But man, that was. So how does somebody, because this doesn't happen often.
Right.
You're one of the rare ones, undrafted free agents. You played 15 years in the NFL with several teams, but you played 15 years. How did you do that? How does that happen? And what would you say to someone right now who just signed with an NFL team as an undrafted free agent, and obviously they're on special teams, or they may be on the practice squad?
Remember, I was starting that year, so don't.
Well, you
don't
came in and you earned your starting position, but
I was starting.
How do you do that? How does that happen?
The one thing that and I didn't have the same mindset as London. I just wanted an opportunity.
Right.
And I was going to show each and every time I went out and stepped on the field was letting everybody know that I belong. And I wanted to make, and I didn't want to just show that I belong. I wanted it to be a force to be reckoned with. I wanted to shut people down, kick them in the teeth.
Well, you're big enough to be a force.
Yeah. It's like, but it's
you carry enough weight to be a force.
but sometimes some of us turn into big puddings and stuff.
Right.
But I never wanted to be. I didn't want to get complacent after every season. And that kind of goes to when I met all you guys, all the older guys, like guys who I was watching, and then knocking the crap out of Nate Newton and Emmitt Smith and all them, and just being around and knowing that I could play with them and destroy them, and take their lunch. That's what fueled my fire. Also being a student of the game and recognizing, just taking the other transition that I made that was the key to my longevity was in having a good coaching system and really good defensive coordinators both times. This is now the second time. What really propelled me was getting Tommy Brazier as a defensive line coach. Because I came into a meeting, as you see now, I have my pen. I came into a meeting.
Yeah,
one
Hollis
time.
brought notes. Too.
Yeah, but I'm going to show you why. Go ahead.
He brought.
Show you why.
Hollis brought notes to his own interview. He's on the show. I'm like, you got notes? What do you have notes for? We're not doing our show. We're going to talk about our show a little bit later on. But why did you bring notes? Oh, I brought notes about me.
Yeah.
He brought notes about himself.
Just saying. Just in case I forget something.
That's my. How you gonna forget about you?
I don't know. It was a part of the thing. But the reason why I do this was because of Tommy Brazier.
Okay.
I came into a meeting, and it was just supposed to be just like a regular meeting, and I came in without a notebook or anything to write on. And he said, "Don't you ever come into any kind of meeting, I don't care what kind it is, without something to write with and something you never know what they're gonna say." And it wasn't demeaning or derogatory.
No.
He was just like, let me know. He said, "Hey man," he said, "I know you good," because at that time I was the cock with the walk, the whole shebang, and
never pass up a teaching moment.
Yeah, and he said, "Don't you ever go in any type of meeting without a pad and a pencil with something to write down, because somebody's always going to say something, and I just that's why I do it now. I still do it to this day. Almost every meeting I go into, I go in there with a pad of paper and a pen."
Okay.
Just in case they say something. And I really do it, I started doing it with football just so I would know the defense like the back of my hand. I know where everybody was supposed to be at. I remember everything. I could draw defenses up and tell you where everybody, I was your defense coordinator. That's what
the defense coordinator for me at Robbinsville. My defensive coordinator for high school. That's why did a phenomenal job.
Thank you. That's why when I look at when I'm looking at teams now and I'm looking at things, it's all elementary to me because I got great coaching, and it's just like, but once you have to take that and apply it,
right?
Yeah, and then you have to separate the party life from football life. I was like, it's just like when we was over there talking, and I was telling you about always getting the limo. I didn't want to embarrass my family. I had my youngest daughter was growing up. I didn't want them to know, see her daddy on TV in handcuffs or nothing, because I chose to go out and gallivant and pillage.
So, I mean, you're saying it, and you're going right along with these notes that I have, questions that I want to ask you, but you're right in line with it. Do you attribute because you have a very high, in my opinion, you have a high football IQ. I mean, you're a very intelligent person anyway, but you have a high football IQ. Do you attribute that to your coaches, or is that something that you had to develop after getting the information from your coaches?
Well,
or is it through experience?
Well, you know what? It's like I went to the Academy of Math and Science, AMS, and going there, you start to learn things. That's why you always hear me talking about weather and stuff. And I was a bit of a history buff.
You talk about everything, man. You bring up stuff. I'm like, where did you get this from?
Well, it's always being prepared. It's like so case in point. At a certain point in my career, I was only doing first and second down.
Right.
So it came to a point in the game where the nickel guys, both of them went down, and my coach turned and said to me,
"You're up."
He said, "No." He said, "This is a stupid question." He said, "And I know." He said, "I know the answer already, but are you prepared to go in there on nickel and do all? Because we have a blitz package,
right? And
so you must know all the blitzes and everything." And so but now remind you, during the week, I don't practice I just sit there and watch it.
Right.
I knew all the hand signals and everything, but I'm always prepared. So I didn't want that. It's kind of like when you get your opportunity to shine and you're not prepared. And then one of the other things that cracked me up was a backup quarterback one time didn't think he was going to get in the game, didn't even tape. Didn't even tape himself up. Didn't even tape his ankles, up. Didn't even read the whole game plan.
I'm sure
playbook.
that happens more often than we know.
Yeah,
yeah.
but then he had to go into the game.
Yeah.
But then he admitted during one of his interviews, which was dumb, that he wasn't prepared. he was not prepared to go out there.
Right.
And it's like I never wanted to be that situation. So that situation happened, and that's when they trust me a lot. As far as like being able to do a lot of stuff, especially Jim Johnson, rest his soul, and that was like one of my favorite times too, with him and the coaching staff we had. That part of the coaching staff, like I love Tarko and I love E.T. Emmett Thomas. They was great too, and I didn't know that when the West Coast offense became prevalent and became dominant, how they actually sat in a room. And that's where the zone traps come from. The zone traps and the smashes and the stuff I was running with the kids. It's real simple, but it's just smoke and mirrors so that you don't get that one guy slamming across the middle and taking it to the house.
Right.
You flash it, you flash it in his face, and that once I didn't even know that in Tampa it was Tommy Brazier, Jim Johnson, and Emmett Thomas on the coaching staff down there.
Awesome.
They came up with the zone traps.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. 15 years in the NFL, undrafted free agent. Do you feel like you were able to accomplish everything that you set out to accomplish while you were in the NFL?
No, I wanted to win the Super Bowl like nobody's business, man. Yeah, it was.
You went to a Super Bowl?
I went to one. I played it. You played in one too.
Well, yeah. But
mine was closer to yours, but
yeah, we got blown out. Yours was a lot closer than mine. Yours was worth watching.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't even worth watching.
And then you found out that they cheated. And the people often say it's like they talk about the cheat scandal, talk about everybody's not doing it. I was like, the thing that everybody don't realize is like after he got busted in all his cheating scandals, he has really no playoff appearances or Super Bowls. And one of your favorite coaches.
We're talking about Bill Belichick right now.
Belichick.
Hollis has a problem with Bill Belichick. He calls him Bill Belichick.
No, you don't even know where I got that from. I interviewed Don Shula. And Don Shula, when I was doing the Josh Anderson show on WIP, me and Josh interviewed him, and he was calling him Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Okay, so Shula started that.
Shula's, yeah.
All right.
And that's where I got it from.
I have to go with Shula because that's my dude.
Yeah, because he
God rest his soul.
Yes,
too.
rest his soul too. It's like so. But when you look at what they were doing, it's like if you ask anybody that was on the defense in the second half of that Super Bowl, it seemed like they were in our huddle. They knew everything. And people was like, well, why didn't y'all change anything? You don't know that they're doing it because it's hand signals coming from the sideline. Now they have a microphone into a defensive player's helmet. That's why now. It's kind of like when Tyson, he beat the crap on Buster Douglas, beat the crap out of him, but he knocked him down and pretty much out. And he told him, I'm trying to get him back in this corner. And you count to 15, Buster Douglas is crap. And now, what happens now when a fighter's knocked down? Push the fighter in the corner, then he looks to the side for the count.
Because they're counting on the side.
Yes.
Yeah. They start to count for him. Yeah.
So it's like
we were watching that fight.
Yep.
The night before a game, we were all sitting in the hotel lobby or sitting in the area in the hotel and watching Mike Tyson get beat for the first time. That was encouraging. Did we win that game the next day?
Probably.
I think we might have got beat. I think that was my third year here. We were terrible that year.
If it was your third year, we probably got
beat.
Slaughtered.
You're a dad. You mentioned one of your daughters. How many children do you have?
2 daughters.
Two daughters
that I know about.
I told you. You have 2 daughters that you know about.
That's okay. 2 daughters. Yeah.
What's it like? I mean, you're 50 years old now. Your daughters are growing up. What's it like being a dad? Your daughters don't live with you.
Right.
What's that like? What kind of challenges do you face?
Well, I don't face that many because being my size and stature, I scare most human beings. But
I'm sorry. He does though.
but the funniest thing is a lot of people who went to school with me know that I was an early childhood development major with the emphasis on daycare. So me and the kids have fun because I'm a kid's lawyer because that fatal question that you ask your kid, don't you know better? If they knew better, why are we there? Now, with my daughters, you're the king of the world until they get friends. Then they don't call dear old dad. Don't see how dear old dad's doing.
Uh-oh. This is a message to his daughter right now.
She's probably watching. I have my 27-year-old. She's working, and I talk to her. I talk to them on a regular basis. But it's different from when they little. You're the bee's knees. But once they get some friends and a bit of a life, it's a done dizzle. You have to get in where you fit in. So when they say they want to come to you, okay.
So when's the last time you visited with your daughters?
I visit them when they schedule permits.
when they're scheduled permits?
Yeah.
Wow. You just fold like that, huh?
Like a chair.
Like a chair.
It's like, what am I gonna say? Am I gonna pitch a fit and then take it back? It's
Well,
like,
when you pitch a fit, you run the risk of creating a wedge between you and your child.
Well, now it's like even if I pitch a fit, they're gonna give me that look, and a daddy's girl. You got the one that was punky the last time I was here.
My daughter?
Yeah, the one that
punked you.
Did she punk you? See, none of my daughter.
How did she punk me?
Did you? I know you gave us some money.
I didn't give her no money. I did.
I know.
I did.
I know.
I gave her $100.
Yeah, but I know. But
Yeah.
it's like that. But that's.
I mean,
that's
what you gonna do?
Exactly. Say it one more time. What are you gonna do? It's your daughter. It's like it's your daughter. You wrap around her finger. Like I'm my mom's favorite. Sorry, Pops and Maxine, y'all. That's my sisters and brothers. They always say I'm my mom's favorite.
You probably are.
I hang with her. That's my homie.
You're likable. You're very likable. Listen, we're going to start talking some football, but we got to go and pay some more bills. We'll come back right after this. All right, we're back at me. I'm doing my read. It's supposed to be just me on the screen, but because we're having some technical difficulties, my camera is not showing right now. So you got to sit there while I do this read.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
You good? Let me show you how to do this.
Okay.
Stolfus Structures, y'all. Stolfus Structures is a 49-year-old family business. Yes, it is. Stolfus Structures is a storage, shed, and garage company located in the heart of the Amish country. Yeah, they ship structures nationwide. You can check them out on mysheds.com. They strive to be the undisputed choice of modular garages, sheds, and outdoor living products in the United States while furthering the kingdom of God. That's why I love them. Stolfus Structures is known for their fast delivery, great quality, and great client service. So if you're looking to a garage or for a garage or a shed or any kind of outdoor living product, Stolfus Structures is the way to go. Check them out on mysheds.com. You like that?
It's pretty good. You stumbled a little bit. 'Cause I think you stumbled mainly
Well,
because
I'm human.
I know, but
You're
you
going to
stumbled.
stumble.
No, you stumbled mainly because you was talking trash at first instead of just doing it and then saying that's how it's done.
You want to do it?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Here, you read it.
I can't see.
You can't see it. Let's talk football.
Okay.
NFL, they keep changing stuff, man. I mean, I just read something a couple of days ago. Now, you can't kick an onside kick
Yeah,
unless you're behind. You can't kick it unless it's in the fourth quarter. Then you got to tell the umpire or the referee that you're going to kick an onside. What it takes away? I mean, it takes away from some of the excitement.
It takes away from the
game.
Yeah, the game.
Because I mean, there's a strategy. Come out the second half, kick an onside kick. You know.
Well, we did it.
Plus, they're trying to do it to prevent injuries. But guess what? If they know there's going to be an onside kick, that's when folk get hurt.
I know.
That's when folk get, because I'm going to pick one guy out and I'm going to blast him. That's
Yes.
how I got hurt one time, getting blasted like that. So
It's like, let me see.
Yeah.
There's the mush.
That's the one time I got blasted up on the front line. It was an onside kick.
Yep.
The ball went over my head. I looked up. Bam!
Bam!
He was right on top. Now couldn't even get out the way.
Yep, that's it.
So what are some of the likes and some of the dislikes
Well,
about the NFL right now for you?
Well, kind of, right now, my dislike is the way they're going about practice. Some teams are the way we were talking about this when we were at the Birds practice the other day. How it's like you don't get to play football anymore. You're not learning how to play football. You're out there just kind of running around, and they's like everybody start talking about, oh, he's doing great in practice. Yeah, practice is not clear and present danger. It's like everybody. Sometimes you can get trained for combat, but when combat happens, it ain't the same. Mm-hmm. It's like when you're in practice, the person on the other side is not trying to maim you. Mm-hmm. When you're in a game, they don't give a damn about you. It's like
the opposing team.
Yeah, the opposing team is like that's the one thing, and the way that they're talking about, oh, they're going to get hurt in preseason. But it's football. It's not tiddlywinks. What do you expect? Mm-hmm. I was like, if you go out there trying not to get hurt, that's when you do get hurt. And the only way to learn how to play football is to play football. You can't get your body ready to play football unless you play. And like the quarterback doesn't get touched at all. Mm-hmm. And they talking about, what about the joint practices? He still got on a red jersey.
Yeah, but even in the joint practices,
he doesn't get touched.
The whole practice, whether it's the line, whether it's DBs, whether it's the running back, whether it's receivers, whether it's corners, it's still controlled. Yeah. It's still a controlled environment.
It's kind of like, you remember we used to have those dreaded running tests when you first get back? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've passed them all day long by myself. Pass them all in my training leading up to it. Pass them all day long. Soon as something's on the line, yeah, I'm dying. I'm dying bad. and that's just the way it is. It's kind of like you see that one guy who's up catching everything in practice. As soon as we get in the game, he's got alligator arms. He's looking for it. It's like, and that's just
practice heroes.
Yeah, practice. Yeah,
all pro practice players.
All pro Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
You put them in the game, they're not gonna hit nothing. They're gonna hit a beach ball with an iron board.
So you think that is going to be a problem again for the Eagles this year? Because we talked about this before on our own show. We're going to talk about our show here in a little bit. They got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, so they have a new offense in, and obviously Jalen Hurts is familiar with having a new offense,
system,
a new system.
Yes.
8 times out of the last 10 years.
Yes.
So I'm not worried about it too much.
That yet.
But you got it's a whole new team,
right.
and you got a lot of pieces on defense that are new.
Yeah.
They made some drafts, they got some things in free agency. A lot of new players on defense we're going to see this year. They need to play in the preseason, and they need to play quite a bit in the preseason because they can't start in Brazil against the Packers.
I know
it's not going to work.
And that's the one thing that I don't want to see. And I feel like we've rectified the coaching thing by getting some people in there that are going to hold the young guys accountable. One, I was like, and they're not going to take no trash. Like you saw Vic Fangio already call out. He called out somebody already in the media. Right. They were asking about him, and somebody's like, "Do you have a problem with that?" No. If you're not performing, I need to know.
Right.
It's like if I'm a player. And everybody's like kissing my ass. That's like, and then all of a sudden I'm cut. Like, I'd rather you let me know what I'm doing wrong so that I can correct it. Mm-hmm. It's like it's too many times we're coddling players instead of actually coaching them and getting the best out of them. I feel like we went and got 2 coaches that are going to try to get the best out of them. Man, me and you said this earlier. The way the schedule is set up is set up for us to rectify things early on because we have that early bye.
Right.
You get some games on tape and get the guys in there, and then you just roll from there. But I think it's almost the same thing as last year. Last year you had 2 new coordinators, but we had a talented roster, and our talent is going to kick everybody's butt. But then we need.
But they were novice. The coordinators last year.
I know.
Were new coordinators.
Yeah,
you know,
they were first time
coordinators. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Like now we have the guys that can take us deep into the playoffs and are actually doing game plans instead of just calling plays. Instead of everybody knowing that we don't have an answer for the max blitz.
Well, we better this year.
Well, if you were paying attention to a little bit when we were at practice, I know you were paying attention. Yeah, I know you saw some things offensively that we hadn't seen. You saw some shifts. You saw some motions.
Yeah, but I also saw the lack of production on offense as well.
But
and I know it's early. It's
preseason.
It's training camp. And usually the defense, picks things up quicker and faster than the offense does, particularly when you have a new offense. So I understand that. But I didn't see the day we were there.
Yeah.
I didn't see one completion.
I know.
I didn't see one positive.
I saw a lot of positive.
One positive offensive play. The ball was getting intercepted. The ball was getting knocked down. They were doing the red zone, and there was no movement forward, and it didn't look good. And everybody says, that was there that I talked to at practice. Well, it's still early. It's only the first week. Yeah, but you've had mini camps.
Yeah.
You've had time to install some of these plays.
Yep.
You've had time to run these plays. There should be some productivity. Now, apparently there was some in the open practice when that they had in the stadium yesterday.
Yeah,
apparently there was some good offensive plays, some good throws by Jalen Hurts, some good catches by the receivers. But man,
but it's like you still need
they have to do that live.
In the real game. And that's the one thing that you're never going to be able to simulate real game situations unless it's a real game. If they should play, I think they should at least play a quarter of each one of the games, at least one quarter, both sides of the ball, because you put in a new system, yes, and you want to kind of hit the ground running.
Right.
And you don't want to hit the ground all slow and stuff, and then you have to build up stuff. It's kind of hard to get these young guys to do things.
So what if they don't? Because today, in today's football world, today's NFL world, they use the dual practices.
Right.
To measure what they're doing. They use that as they replace the games with those dual practices, joint practices with other teams. So what if they do that? How do you think they're going to start? I think it's a trap game actually in Brazil.
Yeah, I think. Well, in Brazil, I don't think it's so much of a trap game because you have a new defensive coordinator that won for Green Bay, and like we got a new one, but we got one that's proven. We had his cousin the last 2 years, and now we got the real Vic Fangio. But
I think Love is going to play a lot better than people give him credit for.
I think he's good. I mean, but I don't think he's going to.
He's had a chance to sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a few years, and he really knows that offense, and he should be. I think he's going to be real productive.
I think he's going to be real productive, but not that productive against us.
Okay. So what do you like about today's game? That was your dislike. What do you like? Yeah. What do you like about today's game?
The paychecks.
The paychecks?
Yes.
Besides the paychecks.
Getting paid out.
That's not benefiting us any.
I know, but it's like when you look. It's not too much that I enjoy about the game. I still, well, because they're adding too many rules. They're adding too many rules about a game that really didn't need fixing. If you're scared, call the police. It's like you.
Buy your dog.
It's like it's not for. It's like the one thing that they're doing is a lot of times like yourself. You should he should be in the Hall of Fame. He was roaming across the middle when there was when you had your head on the swivel. I've seen literally him get his helmet knocked off.
You thought my head came off, didn't you?
I was like, oh, okay. That was his helmet. I was like, but nowadays they go over there like all fancy free and stuff because they know they're not going to get hit. And then like the NFL they talking all this stuff about safety and stuff. But what do you see when you see see all the advertisements? You see the hard hits. That's like, and they're taking it out and they put it too much into officials' hands. Like the roughing the passer, if you can't take a regular takedown, you shouldn't be the highest paid joker on the squad. You're the highest paid joker on the squad.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, and then you're the highest paid joker on the squad, and you lay them down, and it's like flag 15, roughing the passer. What the hell you want me to do to him?
But for me, the game of football, from the time I started in high school, on in college, and into the pros, and all my years in the pros, I always tried to create an element of intimidation. You know, and if you can intimidate your opponent, now you've gained an advantage over them. And my intimidation wasn't always, trying to hit the corner.
Right.
I would hit corners and be physical with corners.
They'd be scared of you run by them.
Well, yeah, but that was the intimidation factor. Early in the game, whether I was getting the ball or not, I would make sure I ran by him to let him know, guess what? You can't catch me. You can't keep up with me. Now he's got to worry about that the whole game.
Yeah,
then I come out and I knock him up underneath his chin and hit him a couple of times. So now when I come out the ball, he doesn't know what I'm going to do. He doesn't know if I'm going to run by him. He doesn't know if I'm going to hit him. And now I got him. So I've intimidated him.
Okay.
But they've taken that out of the game.
Not for the front.
Because you can't intimidate the quarterback anymore.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, because I used to hit the quarterback and take that 50-yard penalty. My intimidation was, I come out and put these on you, they hit you in the chin. It's a song I like to play. It's called Rhapsody in the Kisser. So I hit him right here on his chin.
Rhapsody
in the Kisser.
In the Kisser. Can you sing a little bit? How's
Well,
it go?
you got to.
How's it go?
That's it.
That's it? It's solid.
It's solid because I'm hitting the right square in the chin. If you go back and look at almost all of the first plays of the games I played, you'll see whoever I'm lined up over, you'll see the head do like this.
Rhapsody in the Kisser.
And get rid of it real quick.
So what is, in your opinion, what are the musts? The musts. M-U-S-T.
Yeah, must.
S.
Yeah.
Musts. What are the musts for the Eagles this year? What must they do in order to get out of the funk that they ended up in last year and to start out on the right foot this year?
I think the first thing they got to do is our secondary. Our secondary needs to come out and like when you said that no pass completed, I like that. We haven't had a secondary in quite some time to challenge since the Super Bowl year, to challenge our opposing teams, and then get our linebacker core straight. They get the linebacker core. We hadn't had this is the first time in a long time that they paid attention to the linebackers. The other part too is establish the run over there with Saquon. Make them a dominant force. Make them put 8 in the box. Make them not just come out and know what we're doing. We dictate to them. We don't take the rest. It's like just come out and dictate. Come out and just build that bully and whoop them like cornbread batter, hit them over the top. Because it's like once you. The thing that if we do this correctly, if the Birds do this correctly, you have a running back in the backfield that you need 8 in the box. I told you about we used to play 9 on 7. Like as a defense, we played 9 on 7. There's 9 offensive players against the 7 defensive players. We have to be able to stop the run with 7 people. We do not because the 8th guy comes out of the box, guys like him and other receivers are going over the top. And it is hard as hell to combat that. And then you're just at wit's end. You're on your heels the entire game.
Right.
And just that's the one thing they have to do is establish the run, establish Saquon, and make people fear us. Because once they make them fear him, it's a done dizzle. Because we had running backs in the past, but nobody really feared them.
You're right.
I was like they were good. But they're not the one back that could break a tackle and take it. They can take it the distance, but they're not going to break a tackle. They'll go down with leg tackles and stuff. If one person comes to tackle Saquon, he's more than likely going to either make a miss or run over him. And that's the one thing you have to do that.
There are no, in my opinion, there are no excuses.
None.
With the new offensive coordinator now, with all of the talent that has been acquired by the Eagles, particularly on offense, the addition of Saquon Barkley, there's no excuses.
None whatsoever.
This offense is a defensive coordinator's
dream,
nightmare.
Oh yeah, nightmare. Yeah,
Because who do you focus on?
AJ Slim Reaper, Saquon,
you can't focus on anybody.
Dallas.
You focus on AJ, Devontae's going to shine. You focus on Devontae, AJ's going to shine. You focus on 2 of them, Dallas Goedert has the capability of busting the game wide open. You try to focus on the pass, guess what? Saquon Barkley.
And not only that,
he
can catch out the backfield too. That's another.
Block the blitz.
Block the blitz.
He can
block the blitz.
Yeah.
I guess too many times I saw Swift and Sanders back in the quarterback's lap from a linebacker, just running him over.
So
all the speed bump.
Should be a good season. Tell the people about our show. We got
About
a few more
vetted?
questions. Yeah, we have a show, Hollis and I. This is not the show.
This is not the show. This is
the
Fryar Place.
Hollis has come in here a couple of times when I've had other guests, and he thought it was our show.
Well, no, I
And
was just
so
trying to
he's
help
sitting over
out.
there being disruptive.
I was just trying to. He was here.
Hollis and I have a show called Vetted.
Yes.
That is an Eagles focused show. We hit others, we talk about the Phillies every now and then. We don't really talk about hockey because I don't know anything about hockey. But we do Philly. We talk about the Sixers.
Yeah.
Joel M. Bum. That's his name, right? Isn't that his name?
That's what you meant.
Joel
Yeah.
M. He's in
I can't defend him right now.
They say
4 points.
because he's in the Olympics right now that he's going to get better or at least learn how to play like the upper echelon players in the league because he's going to be with them over in the Olympics. But he scored 4 points the other day and didn't play in the last game
I wonder why he didn't play.
because he scored 4 points the game before.
Durr.
Just absolutely garbage.
Yeah.
Stop thinking that the Sixers are going to win the championship with Joel Embiid on the
Alone.
team. Stop, y'all. Stop. No. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. Great talent. But he does not have the dog in him that you need to win a championship. He doesn't. They got to get rid of him and start over.
Then they got Paul
It's
George.
quiet
and
in
shit.
here.
I know.
They're quiet. Everybody got
Man,
quiet. Well, I know Joel Embiid.
I'm like-
No, he's not the answer. He's not. As
No.
long as they keep depending on him and thinking that he's going to take them to the promised land, they're going to wind up in hell.
The one thing about him I did like though, the one thing I did like about him though is he said he couldn't do it by himself. So
He can't do it by himself.
I know.
But he's not going to lead them either.
that's why you got Paul George and Tyrese here.
You talking about?
I just work
Anyway,
here.
you made me lose my train of. Oh,
Okay.
our
Talk
show.
about show Vetted.
Our show called Vetted.
Yeah.
Tell the people we got something new going on. Tell the people about our show.
Well, our show will be on Roku. We're going to take it out to That's Reading, am I not correct?
Yes.
It's Reading to Barry's locker room.
Barry the Hatchet.
Barry the Hatchet. We're going to take it out there, and we're going to have a grand old time. It's a great place. It's an Eagles rest haven, so to speak, and it's just going to be a good time. You're going to get to see us live and in color. If our producer can get his stuff together. Hey, sorry about that, Keith. Sorry. Deepest apologies.
Our producer's here right now.
It's on Thursdays, I think, from 6.
6:30, 7:30.
6:30, 7:30.
Yes.
And then Tuesday, we're going to be taking Vetted to Dolan's.
Dolan's, yeah.
It's established in 1958. It's in Ridley.
We're going to be busy.
We're going to be busy. We're going to give you a double dose of Vetted each and every
Yes.
week, and he's going to hit you guys up on Friday with Fryar Place. Are you still going to be doing during season Fryar Place?
still gonna be doing
He's
the
gonna be
Fryar Place.
He's going to be the hardest working man in Philadelphia next to me. But I'll be on all the trips with my Philly sports trips and the whole shebang. But Vetted will be on Tuesday nights. We'll be at Dolan's, and that's in Delaware County for all the Delco people. It'll be at Dolan's bar. It's a dive bar, great dive bar, established in 1958. Shout out to PJ. Yes, and then on Thursdays we'll be at the locker room with Barry the Hatchet on Thursdays from 6:30 to 7:30.
Now at Dolan's, you forgot to say this,
Okay.
but this is what's going to prayerfully cause us to stand out at Vetted. We've been a regular kind of podcast the last year or so. We were on A2D radio.
Yes, A2D.
And we were just sitting and talking like we're sitting and talking now here on this podcast, the
Right.
Fryar Place. And that's what we're going to do with Dolan's, the same thing. We'll be
Yes.
sitting and talking, probably addressing some of the questions from the crowd. That's a possibility. But for the most part of Vetted at Dolan's, on Tuesdays, we'll be sitting like this, just talking about what happened
The previous week.
The
yes.
previous week.
Hopefully,
and what they
hopefully
need
it's
to do
joyful.
the upcoming week.
Hopefully it's joyful and we don't have that much critique.
But at Reading, at the
Yes.
locker room or in the locker room, it's going to be more like a show. We're going to
Fun
have
time.
interaction with the crowd. We're not going to be sitting in one spot. Hollis will do a shot or a segment of the show from behind the bar.
Oh, shot, okay.
I'll do a segment. He'll do a shot too while he's at the bar.
Yes.
And I'll do a segment of the show from over this, like a little locker room. In
Locker
the locker
room,
room,
in the
I'll
locker
do a
room,
segment
yes.
over there. We'll have Barry over there on the drums. We'll have the people interacting. So it's going to be more like a show, and that's what we're hoping will set us apart and take us to another level at Vetted.
Yes, good times.
We interact well. We have a good flow with one another, and y'all check us out. And Roku is better than Netflix. Roku is just the bomb.
We allowed to say that?
Yeah, we
Okay.
just said it.
Okay.
I just said it. What they gonna do to me?
I don't know. I just work
You
here.
gonna cancel my subscription for Netflix? I don't care. It costs too much money anyway. Shoot, we'll just go. So, I value you
Yes.
as a person of wisdom.
Thank you.
A person that has lived life and has learned in your ups and downs, and you can pour into other people knowledge, good information, positivity. Is that a word? Positivity?
You said it.
Okay. I'm not going to spell it though. So I want to ask you this question because
Okay.
I think you'll be able to help somebody here. Probably help me too. What is it to you in life that's most important?
Most important?
Yeah. What in life is most important to you? And you know, I'm 61 years old now, and I could not have answered that question until about 5 years ago. I would not have been able to answer that question accurately until about 5 years ago. What is most important to you in life? I know, and he wasn't ready for this.
I wasn't
you
ready.
didn't put that in your notes.
I didn't put that with my notes.
Yeah,
But
this is a new one.
But it is fairly new. Just putting a smile on people's face who I come in contact with. The one thing, and letting everybody know that I don't feel like I'm better than anybody. The one thing I do is make sure everybody feels included in anything and everything I do. Most of all, just spreading love, man. It's a lot of hate and stuff going on currently, and a lot of just crap, just in general, people picking Democrat and Republican. We're not going to talk about that here.
We're not?
No, we're
I
not
was
going to
gonna
talk
ask you about Donald
no,
Trump.
I don't. I'm okay. So I was like, but just spreading the word, just spreading love. I choose love, man. Just spread the love, just around, man. And being there for the people that I can be there for, and just leave my mark on earth like that.
And that's true, because he does that. He's a great man to be around, a great friend, and I cherish our friendship. If you could go back, here's another, not trick question, but another, personal question. If you could go back in your life and change something, what would you change?
Yeah, we won the Super Bowl against Bill Belichick.
That's it?
Yep. Dude, I was a straight A student. I went to the Academy of Math and Science. I was a straight A student mainly because my mom delved out what we call corporal punishment
Yes, my mother too.
For F's, D's, and C's.
I wasn't a straight A student, but I was an A and B student.
I didn't want
for
any,
the same reason.
I didn't want any discrepancies.
Yeah.
I didn't want any.
Just
So
make
that
it
looks
all
like
A's.
that looked like a C. No. It's like it's like that's just.
So why? What would that have changed in your life going back?
Not having time.
I know what it would change, but
What-
tell the people what would have that changed in your life having won that Super Bowl?
Having won the Super Bowl has been great. It's been great not only for the city, but you could have walked off into the sunset, living life. It's like we still that team we still get together, and we were a close knit group. I was like, but if we could have won that title, I think we would be a lot closer, and it would have just been a little bit different, just a little bit different. So you want to always be the first to do something.
Well,
we were the first in 20 years to go back to the Super Bowl and
Right.
get there. I was like, but we didn't finish the job. So it was like I was like, I don't have any regrets about how I played. I was kicking ass if you watched that game. I was.
I was there. I saw you.
Offensively, we had 5 turnovers and we only lost by 3.
That's because defense was kicking ass.
Exactly. We was handling our business. So it's like I don't have any regrets. I try to live life to the fullest. I try not to step on people or hurt people's feelings or anything, but that happens.
If you step on somebody, they're probably not going to make it.
I know, and they probably deserved it. So don't try to play victim after you start some stuff.
You heard it right here. I told you, my man, keep it real. All right, last question.
Okay.
Projection for the Eagles this
Projection?
year. What's your projection for the Eagles? What's their record going to be, and how far are they going to go?
I say they're at least 12 wins, and I think we're gonna win the NFC East. because everybody else is talking. They talk about the Cowgirls all the time. I don't know what the hell for. They've won 12 games and got to the playoffs and screwed the pooch every time. I was like, but I think it's our time. I think it's our time. I think the guys have a horrible taste in their mouth about that, and I think we go make a deep run into the playoffs with the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. So I think I think we have the talent. We just have to put it all together.
Right.
Looks great on paper.
Right.
But until that season starts and you start putting things together and putting those victories together, it's going to take something. Like you said, that we might start off slow, but I think it's going to take something. It's going to be a key point during the season because I can remember pretty much each and every year, for a short stint, it was some times we started off slow. And then it was like, man, it was like, because, and for a long time, playoffs was just just another word to us. We knew we was going to make playoffs. But then it was like you start off slow and kind of, sputtering and stuff. We had that thing with the Giants and stuff, and we finally beat them. But it's something that happens during the season. Like one season, we dropped like 3,000 feet going to play Buffalo in the air while we were flying. Scared everybody had their Bible. And was praying.
Atheists in the foxhole.
Nope. It was like it was so scary that this is how scary it was. The pilot got on and say, "Hey, can everybody get in there?" And then he didn't get nothing else out. It was like everybody jumped, stopped playing cards, and everybody got their Bible and was praying and strapped in. I was like, but then we ended up going to Buffalo, kicking the crap out of them, and then we just went on like a bit of a tear. And so it's going to be something this season that's going to galvanize them to make them to bring them to a championship.
Well, I hope you're right, because I hope you're right. I need them to win, because that way it makes my show better.
Yes,
it makes
does.
the environment better. I think Philadelphia, the violence goes down when the Eagles are winning.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, it's funny that you said that. Here's a tidbit of information for you.
Yeah.
Here's a tidbit of information for you. I learned when we were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we played the Steelers, and they was up on us the entire game. We came back, and the defense didn't touch. We ended up winning 13-10. And so as they were taking us to the airport, the officer said, "Man, domestic violence is going to be up tonight." I was like, "What?" He said, when the home team loses, domestic violence goes up.
Wow. Well, I guess he would know, huh?
I was like,
I guess
wow.
he would know, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, but if you look it up, it's true. When the home team loses, domestic violence goes up because you pissed about your team losing. So
don't mess with the house when the home team loses.
Yes.
So we do something, we're going to close out like this. We do something on Vetted, and we give Hollis the opportunity to do it here at the Fryar Place. We do something on Vetted to close the show out. It's a tradition, it's a staple for Vetted. It's something that's called, a segment that's called History with Hollis. So we're gonna ask History with Hollis to take place here at the Fryar Place.
Yes.
Hollis, you got some history for us?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Today is August the 2nd, 2024. It's the 215th day of a leap year. And we have 151 of these suckers remaining. I'm gonna start off with the national holidays. Today is International Beer Day. So international
Everybody
beer drinkers.
got a beer?
International beer.
Anybody here don't have a beer? You need to get a beer.
Yes.
All right.
Today is also
Nephew, get a beer.
National Color Book Day. Coloring book. I know they used to be our entertainment coloring books. Today is also Ice Cream Sandwich Day. I'm gonna find me one of those and get one of those too. It's also World 4-Leaf Clover Day and Dinosaur Day.
Dinosaur Day.
Yes, Dinosaur Day. We got a couple.
What kind of dinosaur? T-Rex?
All of them,
All of them?
all the archaeologists and stuff when they go to take all that stuff
Just
to the
all of them,
museum.
okay.
Yes. Got some
Big
events.
bones, little bones?
Yes, big bones, little bones. Got some events here for you. In 1776, the formal signing of the United States Declaration of Independence was actually signed on this day by 56 people, ratifying. Most modern historians believe that they recognize today as the Declaration of Independence.
Today's a special day.
Yes, it is.
Thanks for being at the Fryar Place, man.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
yeah.
1819, we have the first idiot to jump out of a parachute in the United States. He was a Frenchman named Louis Charles Gully.
You know what he wasn't? It wasn't a black man.
No, it wasn't. But it happened right in Jersey City.
Jersey City,
it happened in Jersey City. Yeah.
I know it wasn't a black man.
You know it wasn't a brother. In 1909, the very first United States issued the very first Lincoln penny. Today, also in 1938, Major League Baseball conducted an experiment with the yellow baseball for a doubleheader.
Well,
between the Dodgers
we see
versus
how
the
that
Cardinals.
worked.
Yeah, it never went
didn't
again.
last, yeah.
In 1952, Floyd Patterson, 17 years old, he won a gold medal, knocking out some dude from Romania. In 1967, In the Heat of the Night, the movie came out.
In the Heat of the Night.
With Sidney
in
Poitier.
67?
Yeah.
Wow.
The Heat of the Night,
okay.
the actual movie.
The real
not the,
one.
yeah, the
first
movie
one,
with
yeah.
Sidney Poitier.
Not the series, y'all.
If you want to see something funny, you go watch that movie and get to the scene where that white guy slapped Sidney Poitier and he slaps him back.
Slapped him back,
Oh, it was
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
He's like, you gonna sit there? And he's like, you gonna sit there and let that happen?
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Call me Mr. Tibbs. Also in 1967, the Saints played their very first preseason game against the Rams. They lost in LA.
Okay.
And in I thought this only happened in basketball, but apparently the Mets traded during a doubleheader with the Phillies. The Mets traded for our outfielder between the two doubleheaders. So the outfielder played for the Phillies for the first game and the Mets for the second game. His name is Jose Cardano.
Kardashian.
No, Cardano. It's Cardano. It's Cardano. And I told you guys earlier, this was 1991. Rick James got arrested for some, you can
say it.
Capture and torture, sexual assault and torture. I can say that?
Yeah, you can say that. It's on. We're on YouTube.
Okay. 1996, the Dream Team Part 3. They ended up winning the gold medal. In 2005, the largest trade at the time in NBA history is completed with 5 teams and 13 players to swap 13 players. Walker and Jason Williams went to Miami, and it resulted in the Heat's very first title in franchise history. And in 2018, for all you TikTokers out there, TikTok came into existence in 2018.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's when everybody was in the house and stuff, chilling. I got some quick birthdays. Speaking of the Heat of the Night, 1924, we have Carol O'Connor. Also 1924, the great James Baldwin. 1932, Lamar Hunt. 1932 as well, Peter O'Toole. 1939, for all you horror people, Wes Craven. 1950, we have Lance Ito. I don't even think nobody remember Lance Ito.
No.
The O.J. Simpson trial judge, Judge Ito.
Oh, okay.
Judge Ito, yes.
Yeah, okay.
1960, for people around my age to see your first set, Apollonia from Purple Rain.
Yeah.
And one of our buddies, today is Ed West's birthday.
Oh, okay.
1961, Toolbox.
Yeah.
And then we have 1974, my teammate Paul Grassmanis, and Perseus from Clash of the Titans, Sam Worthington.
Okay.
That's what you have with History of Hollis.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget to close it out. The History of Hollis. So listen, come on, put your hands together for my guest today here at the Fryar Place. Hollis Thomas, Eagles defensive tackle, 15 years in the NFL. That's my man, pots and pans, bottles and cans, all day long, 24/7, y'all. Listen, we'll be back next week, not here at the Cigar Code with the Fryar Place, but Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. All of you who are here, all of you who are watching, please go to the Fryar Place. You go to YouTube. Go to that magnifying glass, search The Fryar Place. That's F-R-Y-A-R, not E-R. E-R is a chicken. Subscribe, hit the notifications button, and you'll get notified when we come on every Friday at 6 p.m. Next week, we'll be in studio, and our guest will be none other than Plaxico Burress.
Oh.
He's going to be our guest next week.
Ask him about shooting himself.
I'm going to ask. I probably will ask him about that.
Well, I know I'm here.
But you want to watch next week. You want to tune in, all of you watching, make sure you go to the Fryar Place, subscribe, hit the notification button, and watch us next week. We will be back here at the Code the first Friday of September. During the season, the first Friday here at the Code, live audience, live guests, we're going to have a current player every first Friday. So you want to tune in, you want to look for the advertisements to see who's going to be here. Just be here anyway. Make sure we have plenty of guests here to make a lot of noise, but we'll have guys here who are current players signing autographs, doing interviews, and you guys and we'll give you a chance to ask some questions. All right, we'll have a mic out there and another camera out there for you so you can ask a question. You can be on the Fryar Place.
You sure Keith gonna be able to handle that?
Keith can handle all of that.
Hey Keith.
Until then, we're out of here, y'all. Until then, make sure you take care of yourself, be kind to other people. Why?
Because you reap what you sow.
Y'all messed that up. I'm gonna do that again. You're supposed to respond. Come on, crowd.
They weren't ready.
We practiced this, y'all. Listen, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Why?
Because you reap what you sow.
There you go. We'll see y'all next time right here at the Fryar Place where the conversations are fire. We're out of here.
Thanks, baby.